Hey everyone, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Reagan. I'm currently home for summer break, but I go to Stanford University and I'm studying marketing and entrepreneurship. I'm a college student who's just 20 years old, but I'm going to be starting a business all by myself. From a young age, I've had a very entrepreneurial mindset. I sold rainbow loom bracelets in the first grade. I had a slime business on Etsy all of middle school. I had a duct tape wallet business with my brother, but I haven't really gone back to just my love of creating and selling things since 9th grade. 5 years later, I'm dying to just run a business again. Now, do I know what I'm doing? Absolutely not. That's what makes this fun. It's a journey we get to go on together. As I said, I've been thinking this for the longest time, but I knew if I was going to start a business at this point in my life, I was going to do it full-heartedly with everything in me and do it to where I could set it up for success. If you want to come along with me, see the failures, the successes, figuring out everything in between, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can see the whole process I'll be documenting of starting the business. And then also once the business is going, there'll be a lot of videos up with that as well. So let's get going. Here's the thing, I know I'm at a place to do this because when I say I can't stop thinking about this, I can't. For the past six or so months, my brain cannot get off this. When I'm in class, I'm thinking about business ideas, how to market it better, how to set it up. When I'm working out, I'm going through ideas. I've been listening to podcasts about it. I've been watching YouTube videos of starting a business successfully because while I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset, I was young and hadn't been in college classes and didn't know what I was doing. I've spent while I was at school brainstorming ideas of what I want to do and figuring out target audience, product, service, what I want to do and how I want to execute it, to the point that when I'm walking around campus, I literally just have my phone out and start filming as I'm walking to class how I want to execute something so I don't forget. It's literally just consuming my mind, and I'm so excited to just get it out of my mind in a tangible way and act on all these ideas and things I'm passionate about that I want to put out into this world. So at this point, you're probably like, well, okay, what even is the business you want to start? But before we dive into that, let's take a step back to my itch to just have a business. I've had this just desire since I got to college, so for the past 2 years, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I missed taking pictures of products, uploading them to a website, shipping out orders that I did for years in middle school. But just because I missed that, I didn't want to just start something because I was like, oh, I could do this. So it took me a while to really realize what was I truly passionate about that I'd be willing to sacrifice time hanging out with friends and sacrifice sleep and a lot of stuff because I was so passionate about it. It was worth potential failure for me. So the idea finally struck me when I was working out one day. I realized that one thing I've always been passionate about is my faith, but beyond just my faith is girls around my age, high school, college age, that know the Lord but aren't pursuing Him wholeheartedly to receive the full eternal life while on earth that He promises us, but also that living all in for God is fun. And I wanted to help girls realize that and get to that point in their life. However, when I realized that that was my passion, I was like, how do I sell products that help with that? Because I love packaging products. My dream is to have a warehouse packaging orders all day. So I decided for what I want to do, it's going to be a service and product. I also knew I was more willing to invest time than money at the beginning. So let's go talk about the name of the business, the value proposition, and everything I had to think of before I could actually get going. So what did step 0 of creating my business entail? What in my mind I had to wrap my mind around before I actually created this thing. I wanted the name of the business to go along with my value proposition. I knew if I was going to invest a ton of time, money, so on and so forth into something, it needed to add value to people or there is no point. I wanted to find a niche in the market to add value to people's lives in ways that hasn't fully been done before, and that I wanted people to know what it's like to have a life that's all in for the Lord, is when I came up with the name. And after tons of brainstorming and deliberating, I decided to name it Devoted. The main root and heartbeat of Devoted is that it is a ministry. The two we can just call them pillars, like cornerstones, what's holding at the business, what I never want to lose core of is the devotionals and the videos. Monthly devotionals that have one different thing for each week, and then YouTube videos to go with that. Each month is going to be a different theme, and then each week is going to dive into that theme a little bit differently for the devotionals. So the first month is about seeking approval from God and not man, or where your approval comes from. So the first week is really just diving into how can I seek why it's important to seek approval from God and not man. And then the second week will be like, okay, well then how do I actually seek approval from God? Third week will be about your identity and where that's rooted in, so on and so forth. If those devotionals that you can purchase through, I'm going to create a website. You can purchase this through the website, and then I'm going to have YouTube videos that go with that. They're not separate things. They're meant to work together. It's the core pillars of Devoted. But along with that, I want to sell tangible products. Maybe those devotionals will eventually be printed out, but right now they'll just be downloaded PDF. But with that, I want to create stuff for college-age girls that can really be tangible. There'll be wall art for dorms that are a reminder of the truth. And I eventually have a lot of products in mind that will be discussed way later. So, stage 0 for me involved like branding colors, name, or core value proposition, your target audience. So now the countdown is on to get this thing launched by June 1st. I would love y'all's advice, ideas for devotionals, anything and everything in the comments down below. And even if you're starting your own business that's completely unrelated to ministry or anything, I would love to just build a community. When it came to figuring out colors, I feel like a lot of Christian brands are like bubble font and pink, but I wanted this to be a little bit more mature because it's aligning with the idea of maturing in your faith. But I knew I also wanted everything to be done very purposely and intentionally, so I took some time to look up colors and meanings behind them in a biblical sense. I ended up deciding on my main colors are green and blue. I chose green because green is representative of fruitfulness and flourishing. I want everything I'm doing this to be fruit-filled and not done in vain and for myself, but for the glory of the Lord. And abiding in the Lord, the result of that is bearing good fruits. And so I want people acting in that, like that are participating in like reading these devotionals and like following the challenges for the weeks and everything like that. I want this to be a fruitful time in them and not just a waste of their time. I chose the color blue because blue is symbolic of wisdom, which hopefully this helps people grow in wisdom along with myself. It also has to do with passion. And I decided to go ahead and create a mission statement because of I can very easily be like, oh, I like this idea and this idea. And or like, I want to sell this product. Okay, but is that really helping people dive deeper in their faith? Or is it just cute? So that's what we're trying to figure out now. I made a mission statement for me to stay narrowed in on what I'm doing. The goal of Devoted is to help and challenge girls who know the Lord to dive deeper into a life fully dependent and devoted to the Lord. And this can be up for change, right? Nothing's posted, I'm thinking through this with y'all. I wanted to make sure it wasn't product focused because as the market changes, I needed to be able to change it. So I want it to be focused on customer and the people that this is for. I want this to be subject to the target audience and how it's serving them, not specifically the goal of Devote's write devotionals. That's not. So yeah, focus on the customer more than the product itself as far as is this fulfilling a value they need. But that was just the basis I had. Now that I have all the groundwork done, I have approximately, give me a second. Okay, I grabbed my phone to check out the calendar. It's currently, as I'm filming this today, May 5th. This will be posted May 11th. So I have 26 days to have this fully out in the public, released. That's my goal. I don't know, because it has to be released by the first of the month because the way devotionals are set up. I really don't have to wait till July. I ended up spending the rest of that night creating a content schedule and just planning out what I needed to get done. Wednesday, and I just wanted to talk about the idea of maximizing my time. So I'm currently in between appointments. I have 20 minutes to be up and signed in, but I don't just want to sit in the car and waste time on my phone. So my goal in these 15 minutes is to, 1, secure an Instagram handle. I secured 2 different TikTok ones. I'm deciding between Devoted Lifestyle or Devoted Ministry. So I need to figure that out and then make the Instagram. But then I also literally just brought my notebook and I'm gonna plan a content schedule. I did that a little bit in the last clip y'all saw, but I really need to plan filming out the vlogs, or I'm executing some of the challenges that are in the devotional, and just planning a little more in depth of when I'm filming and when I'm editing the video instead of just when they're being uploaded. So we're gonna try to knock that out in the next 15 minutes. All right, I've been just comfy chilling after my appointments, getting some work done. Made myself some coffee, as you can see my nice little setup. But prop you up, I have an exciting package coming today. And I looked earlier and it said it could be delivered within this time window. I'll show you my little setup for now, and then we're about to upgrade it if the package is here. Hopefully we're not getting my hopes up. A mocha water, and then I'm transferring stuff from Google Doc over to Canva. Let's go look for the package. I really hope it's here. I'm very excited. It's here. Okay, let's open it up. First thing, keyboard that like Bluetooth connect to my laptop, and then a laptop stand. So I'll set it up. The reason I got this is my neck. I've had issues with it for the past year, but especially once finals came, like looking down, constantly editing videos or studying, and now writing these devotionals, my neck is constantly like this, and it's not good. So the laptop stand and the keyboard, I'm thinking I can like type and look straight and not like be straining my neck when everything I do is like all looking down. So let's try to set this up. It's also great, I'm realizing, with this like standing up high, I can stand up and type and look. So I kind of created a standing desk, which is nice. I think this was very much worth the investment. Hello? Okay, low-key, I wish this was more obnoxious sounding. Still don't know how to turn it on or connect it. I'll get back to you in a second. I found this in here. So I think you're supposed to use this, plug it in the computer, and it connects the mouse and the keyboard, because I don't see anything in the keyboard. However, this is USB and my laptop's USB-C. So now I'm sad. All right, so it's currently Thursday, and my main goal for this week was to get a lot of the product stuff done and out of the way. So writing devotionals, filming the videos that go with the devotionals. I need to like edit it a little bit, like read through it a couple more times, but I finished week 1 and 2 on Canva, and it's currently 19 pages long, so I'm thinking it's gonna end up around 40. So I do wanna figure out soon my price point. I need to do some market research for that. But anyway, I'm writing out my outline for video for week 2. I just filmed week 1, and then I need to write devotional 3 today. I worked out the last 2 days, so I'm thinking today we're gonna call it a rest day and just work all day, which I'm totally fine with because I'm having a fun time. Also, I got the keyboard to work, so that's fun. So main goal today is write another devotional, film another video, and then get some editing done. Next week for episode 2, y'all will see I'm gonna focus on a lot more than nitty-gritty behind the scenes. All the like businessy stuff I'm doing next week. And I eventually like really want to sell tangible products, but I need to get a PO box to like have the address for the business. I need to set up business email, all that next week too. But PO boxes are like $130 a month. And if I make that much in revenue, not even profit, but revenue, I'd be shocked in a month for my first month. But that one, you know, that I'd be making nothing. So I'm kind of waiting till I'm back at school and can use my school's PO box to have tangible products. But I might like, this summer I will start designing them, and I'll show you that process too. But them shipped to my house, and then eventually in promoting them and doing all the pre-work, and then just start listing them once I'm at school. All right, that's it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed it and found it useful, entertaining, and I'm excited to go along this journey with y'all. Be sure to subscribe and turn on bell notifications to keep up with the creation of this business, and once it gets started, everything that comes with that. Also, be sure to check this video out right here. YouTube thinks you'll like it, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.